All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here talking about old geezer musicians looking old and doing it in real time for a few real people out here, just like you and just like me. And just for the record, I'm an old geezer. Um, but man, when you realize one of your favorite bands from the 1980s are just really old and they look old and they're still putting out that 80s wattage. They're still sounding kind of like they did in the 1980s. Um, but it's fleeting. Everything is so fleeting. This could be a real philosophical video. Um, I would say at the top of the video here, put your faith and trust in God through Jesus Christ. All right? Just do it. Life is short. All right? If you're younger and you're thinking, here's some old guy just spouting off nonsense, well, yeah, we all spout off nonsense every day when we have conversations. It's just what we do. We go through the motions. Anyway, Ben E. King. It's 1961 and Stand By Me gets released. The song has been used in credit card commercials. It's been used all over the world multiple times in all kinds of different advertising. It's been on television shows. It's been in movies. I'm thinking the Wonder Years may have used it. They used a lot of great music on that TV show. Anyway, it's a great song. So Def Leppard has done a respectable version of the song. Absolutely respectable. Not groundbreaking, but certainly, doesn't leave the listener with any remorse for having wasted their time listening to it. It's actually pretty good. And the video for this song dropped today. And so I decided to watch it. And these guys are just old. It's just bizarre because you think, okay, they're not going to age. They're rock stars, right? I saw Def Leppard open up for Journey back in, I don't know, 2017. I'm pretty sure it was 2017, maybe 2018. I can't remember. I think it was the first tour where they teamed up together. And I have to say, on that particular evening, Def Leppard was the better band to go see. Joe Elliott, is not exactly where he used to be vocally. But again, just like this version of Stand By Me, he's respectable and not embarrassing. Maybe he's getting some help. I don't know. This isn't going to be a super difficult song for him to sing, I would gather. I don't know. Again, nothing is going to beat the original, but this is pretty respectable. And the proceeds from the song go to Fire Aid. Now, how do they raise money when people basically just stream the music nowadays? Is anyone going to download this and actually purchase the song? I mean, if you have a Spotify account, aren't you just going to listen to it on Spotify? YouTube Music, Apple Music? I don't know how a song like this generates any revenue for not only the band, but for this good cause that they've assigned to it. The song is also part of a Netflix film called Bank of Dave 2. It's not about me. Bank of Dave 2, The Lone Ranger, which was released back on January the 10th. The band can be seen performing the track before the credits. Def Leppard says here that we're totally excited about Stand By Me from Bank of Dave 2, which you can stream. So they're telling you to stream, I guess, the movie, and they're telling you to buy the song. And maybe the song will generate some revenue being in the movie. Just all proceeds from the track will be donated to Fire Aid to assist in both short-term relief efforts and long-term initiatives to prevent future fire disasters. Really? So they're going to cut some trees, hopefully, and clean up the forest floor, because that's what they need to do. Joe Elliott says, Los Angeles, we stand by you. Now, again, I watched this video, and it just makes me sad that this much time has passed by. I remember buying the Pyromania album, and my parents didn't have too much of an issue with the album cover. See, everything would get to the house via the Columbia Record and Tape Club. And so there was a brown box, right? And then you would take the albums out of the brown shipping box. So even if there were certain album covers that would raise a few eyebrows, the Def Leppard album didn't have any issues. And that was my first experience with Def Leppard. I didn't regret it, as that was a great album. But man, it's been 42 years since that album came out. So if these guys were in their 20s, they're in their mid to late 60s. And, you know, it's just rough. You just look at your fellow human beings and you think to yourself, a lot of time has passed by. And, you know, the black and white video isn't doing anyone any favors as far as, you know, making people not look so old. The other thing I would probably recommend for some of these guys, like Joe Elliott, might be time to cut the white hair. The white hair, I know in some cases it makes people look cool, and it just gives you more of the, you know, like the bad factor, like the good bad factor, the wow factor. Like, look at this guy coming down the street. He must be in a rock band, or he's trying out for some part in a new Halloween movie. Now, I'm just kidding. It's a joke, all right? Sort of. But anyway, I guess the whole point of this video, I'm sure someone is going to comment and say, yeah, I fell asleep watching you talk about how old Def Leppard was. I'm just observing, okay? They just are getting old, as we all are. And I would prefer, this is just me, that there was a number of younger, fresh talent coming up through the ranks who could recapture the spirit of these 80s bands, these 70s bands. You had the Stones and the Beatles winning at the Grammys, right? It's just kind of weird, okay? I'm even a little, I think Rick Beato said something like, this is kind of ridiculous. Bands in their 80s are winning Grammys. So he sees that there's something kind of weird about this. And I don't know. It would be good to see some fresh young talent, although old geezers like me, we tend to like to relate to music we grew up with. So I understand that aspect of it. It's just that, you know, so much time has gone by. And, you know, I always say this, there was 50s music that I respected, 60s music, 70s music, 80s music. So about 4 decades worth of music. The 90s, yeah, I don't know. I guess in hindsight, it's better than I remember it. But after that, it's kind of over. It's definitely over. If you want to extend it to the 90s, if you're a grunge fan and you're like, yeah, man, at least there were guitars. Okay. Agreed. Fair enough. But after that, I don't get it. And that could be just the age thing kicking in, or the fact that radio became ridiculous and you had all this other stuff come along. Again, you can go stream the movie, stream the song. You don't have to purchase anything, even though this is a fundraiser, which, again, I'm not sure how this is going to raise a lot of funds, but it is a good cause. All right. Okay. I think I'm done. Before I go, this guy here, Eric Clapton, and his album Meanwhile. Again, thanks to my buddy Davey B, who sent this to me all the way from the UK. And I would recommend this album for your collection. If you're going to purchase something, yeah, Eric Clapton's Meanwhile, a whole bunch of great music. It'll bring back fond memories of the pandemic as you listen to it. Yeah. And you'll think to yourself, boy, I hope that never happens again. God bless everyone. Remember, Jesus is the reason for every season. Spring, summer, winter, fall. Yes, all you got to do is call on the name of the Lord.